Let me just take a little time out here, because it'll touch on our subject. Today, unusually planned by divine providence, today on the May the 13th, in some parts of the United States, it's the feast of the Ascension. This is Ascension Thursday. And so in some dioceses, they still have Ascension Thursday. I think in New Jersey, they have, I think in Philadelphia, but I'm not absolutely certain there. And I'm certain that there are other places, and most monasteries, usually, but not all, would celebrate today as Ascension Thursday. Now, in some other dioceses, today is the feast of Our Lady of Fatima. I believe Omaha, Boston, maybe Fresno, California, because they have a huge shrine to Our Lady of Fatima there. They would celebrate today's feast. In the Dominican order today is the feast of Blessed Imelda. And Blessed Imelda was a Eucharistic saint. And in 1233, this little 9-year-old was a nun. She had such devotion and such love at a very early age. She begged the cloistered nuns in Bologna, Italy, to accept her. So they did. And at the age of 9, she begged them, I want to go to Holy Communion. And in that time, in 1333, children were not allowed to go to Holy Communion until they turned 14. She was 9. So Blessed Imelda begs and begs, and finally the sisters turn her over to the chaplain of the convent. The chaplain listens to her very earnestly, and he finally makes his decision. No, you can't receive the Blessed Sacrament. You're not 14. That's the rule. So, in this particular day, Mass is over. All the sisters gone to Holy Communion, come back. And after Mass, as they're making their thanksgiving, something unusual happens. Over her head appears a host, the Blessed Sacrament. Well, everybody's stunned. And so the priest, he's stunned too, but he figures, I better give this to her. So he manages to get the host, put it on the patent, and then she opens her mouth, he gives her the Blessed Sacrament. She becomes so joyful and so filled with love, she dies. And today she's buried in Bologna at the University, well now it's the University of Bologna, in their Catholic chapel, which apparently used to be the chapel of the cloistered nuns. And then also today, among the Poor Clare nuns of the Blessed Sacrament, today is the feast of our Blessed Mother of, guess what? The Blessed Sacrament. If you watch EWTN, if you watch the Mass today, it was probably the Mass of Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament. We say Mass for the cloistered nuns on Harewood, no, not Harewood Road. I forget what road it is, but there's cloistered nuns nearby our priory. And today, the poor priest didn't know this. He wound up having to preach extemporaneously on Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament, because St. Clare had a great devotion to the Blessed Sacrament, number one. And number two, she got the Blessed Sacrament to scare away the Saracens, I believe it was, who were ready to come take over her monastery. And she just held the Blessed Sacrament at the door, and they all ran away frightened to death. And that began the Poor Clare's devotion to the Blessed Sacrament, though this particular group of sisters, I don't know when they were founded, but they're also related to the sisters at EWTN. mention all of this because it's by divine providence. Here it is, May 13th, 2010. And all 4 feasts come together in certain parts of the world. And they're really all related. Because the ascension of Christ means he sits at the right hand of the Father. But he's going to come and judge us at the end of time. And so we have to be ready for that judgment. What gets us ready? Well, that's the next thing that we learn from Fatima. If you recall, the children ask our Blessed Mother who she is. What does she say? I am Our Lady of the Rosary. And she wants the children to pray the Rosary. And she wants other people to also pray the Rosary in reparation for sin. Now, you might say, well, why this thing about reparation? Well, unlike Blessed Imelda, who got into heaven by pure love, most of us aren't as holy as Blessed Imelda was at the age of 9. We probably never will be as holy as Blessed Imelda, huh? Because we're sinners. So, being sinners, we have to make up for our sins. One way in which we make up for our sins is through prayer. And the Blessed Mother wants us to pray the Rosary as a means of making reparation for sin. Quite often, for some of us, it's a dry prayer. It's not much fun. It's not sweet. It's not delicious, like going to Mass sometimes when you have beautiful songs. This is this Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary. Oh, let's shut up. No. Something very powerful in the Rosary that most of us are unaware of. Yet, not only does our Blessed Mother tell the children about praying the Rosary and wants them to pray many Rosaries, she tells us how important the Rosary is. Remember when the 3 children saw the Blessed Mother, 2 of them could hear her. If you remember, Francisco couldn't hear her. And why couldn't he hear her? Well, the Blessed Mother said, the reason why he can't hear me, he's got to say a lot of rosaries first. He must have been a mischievous little boy, as boys normally are. At least I was. Normally, in the old days, parents took their kids to confession with them. Today, they don't go to confession, and their kids don't go either, but twice a year.